Hello, welcome to day 44 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading Exodus chapter 5, 1 Samuel chapter 5, Psalms 51, Proverbs 13, and then finishing off with Mark 13. We'll be in the Scriptures, 2009 version. Okay, so let's get into it. Exodus chapter 5 is on page 61. Just a recap. Moshe is given instructions by Yahweh to go into Egypt, Mizraim. Moshe has some issues because he doesn't speak well. And how will they know to accept me? So Yah gives him instructions, and then he's going to send him a helper. He's going to send, and he tells him, go meet your brother Aaron, and he'll be helped. So it just hit me. So Yah gives us a helper in the New Testament in the book of Acts, the Holy Spirit. Is this a precursor? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. Sorry. Chapter 5 on page 61. And afterwards Moshe and Aaron went in and said to Pharaoh, Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, let my people go so that they celebrate a festival to me in the wilderness. And that festival would be Shavuot. And Pharaoh said, Who is Yahweh that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I do not know Yahweh, nor am I going to let Israel go. And they said that the Elohim of the Hebrews has met with us. Please let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and slaughter to Yahweh our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. But the sovereign of Mizraim, Pharaoh, said to them, Moshe and Aaron, why do you take the people from their work? Get back to your burdens. And Pharaoh said, See, the people of the land are many now, and you make them cease from their burdens. And the same day, Pharaoh said, I'm reading the wrong glasses, that's helpful. And the same day, Pharaoh commanded the slave drivers of the people and their foremen, saying, You are no longer to give the people straw to make bricks as before. Let them go and gather straw for themselves, and lay on them the required amount of bricks which they made before. Do not diminish it, for they are idle. This is why they are crying out, Let us go and slaughter to our Elohim. Let more work be laid on the men, so that they labor in it, and not pay attention to words of falsehood. And the slave drivers of the people and their foremen went out and spoke to the people, saying, Thus said Pharaoh, I do not give you straw. Go, take the straw for yourselves, wherever you find it, for your work shall not be diminished. And the people were scattered in all land of Mizraim. Go gather stubble for straw. And the slave drivers were hurrying them, saying, Fulfill your actions, your daily matters, as when there was straw. Also the foremen of the children of Israel, whom Pharaoh's slave drivers had set over them, were struck and were asked, Why have you not fulfilled your law in making bricks, both yesterday and the day before? And the foreman of the children of Israel came and cried out to Pharaoh, saying, Why do you treat your servants this way? There was no straw to given to your servants. And they said to us, Make bricks, and see, your servants are struck, but your own people are at fault. But he said, You are idle, you are idle. This is why you say, Let us go and slaughter to Yahweh. So now go, work, and straw is not given to you, but deliver the amount of bricks. And the foreman of the children of Israel saw that there was trouble in what was said. You are not to diminish your daily amount of bricks. And when they came out from Pharaoh, they met Moshe and Aaron, who stood there to meet them. And they said to them, Let Yahweh look on you and judge, because you have made us loathsome in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to give a sword in their hand to kill us. And Moshe returned to Yahweh and said, Yahweh, why have you done evil to this people? Why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people. You have not delivered your people at all. Well, I mean, just in chapter 4, verse 21, he sits there and says, but I'm going to strengthen his heart so he does not let his people go. So I don't know if Moshe mentioned that to his people, but hey. Anyway, that finishes off Exodus chapter 5. Moving on to 1 Samuel chapter 5. And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it. That's right, remember, Israel went up against the Philistines twice, lost a lot of guys, and in the second battle, they lose the ark. So we'll see what happens now. Verse 1, And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it from Eben Hazor to Ashdod. And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And the Ashdodites rose early in the morning and saw Dagon fallen on its face to the ground before the ark of Yahweh. So they took Dagon and put it in its place again. And they rose early the next morning and saw Dagon fallen on its face to the ground before the ark of Yahweh. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of the hands cut off. On the threshold, only Dagon itself was left on it, of it. This is why, to this day, the priests of Dagon and all who come into Dagon's house do not tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod. But the hand of Yahweh was heavy on the Ashdodites, and he wasted them and struck them with tumors, Ashdod and its borders. And when the men of Ashdod saw this, they said, Let not the ark of Elohim of Israel remain with us, for his hand has been hard on us, and on Dagon our mighty one. Then they sent and gathered to them all the princes of the Philistines and said, What do we do with the ark of the Elohim of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of the Elohim of Israel be removed to Gath. And they removed the ark of Elohim of Israel. And it came to be, after they removed it, that the hand of Yahweh was against the city, with a very great destruction. And he struck the men of the city, from the least to the greatest, and tumors broke out on them. Then they sent the ark of Elohim to Ekron. And it came to be, as the ark of Elohim came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, They have removed the ark of the Elohim of Israel to us, to kill us and our people. And they sent and gathered together all the princes of the Philistines and said, Send away the ark of the Elohim of Israel, and let it return to its own place, so it does not kill us and our people. For there had come a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of Elohim was very heavy there. And the men who did not die there were stricken with tumors, and the cry of the city went up to the heavens. End of 1 Samuel chapter 5. On to Psalms 51, page 675. Show me favor, O Elohim, according to your loving commitment, according to the greatness of your compassion. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me completely from my guilt, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against you, you alone, I have sinned, and done evil in your eyes, that you might be proven right in your words. Be clear when you judge. See, I was brought forth in crookedness, and in sin my mother conceived me. See, you have desired truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you make me know wisdom. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I am clean. Wash me, and I am whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my crookedness. Create in me a clean heart of Elohim, and renew the steadfast spirit within me. Now do not cast me away from your presence, and do not take your set-apart spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your deliverance, and uphold me, noble spirit. Let me teach transgressors your ways, so that sinners turn back to you. Deliver me from blood guilt, O Elohim, Elohim of my deliverance. Let my tongue sing aloud to your righteousness. O Yahweh, open my lips, and let my mouth declare your praise. For you do not desire slaughterings, or I would give it. You do not delight in a sending offering. The slaughtering of Elohim are a broken spirit, the heart broken and crushed, O Elohim. These you do not despise. Do good in your displeasure in Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Then you would delight in slaughtering of righteousness, an extending offering and complete extending offering. Then young bulls would be offered on your slaughter place. Proverbs 13, page 740. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, and a scoffer shall not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of the mouth a man eats the good, but the desire of the treacherous is for violence. He who watches over his mouth guards his being, but he who opens wide his lips comes ruin. The being of the lazy one craves, but has not, while the being of the hard workers are enriched. The righteous one hates a lying word, but a wrong man is lonesome and comes to shame. Righteousness watches over him who is perfect in the way, but wrongness overthrows the sinner. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has none at all, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wrong is put out. By pride comes only strife, but wisdom is with those who take advice. Wealth from vanity diminishes, but he who gathers by hand increases. Expectancy drawn out makes the heart sick, but a longing come true is a tree of life. He who despises the word is destroyed, but he who fears the command is rewarded. The Torah of the wise is a fountain of life, turning one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the treacherous is hard. Everyone with insight acts with knowledge, but a fool spreads folly. A messenger that is wrong falls into evil, but a trustworthy envoy is a healing. Poverty and shame are for him who ignores discipline, but he who heeds reproof is esteemed. A desire accomplished is sweet to the being, but to turn away from evil is an abomination to fools. He who walks with the wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools suffers evil. Evil pursues sinners, but good is repaid to the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Much food is in the tillable ground of the poor, but lack of right ruling sweeps it away. He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him seeks him with discipline. The righteous eats to the satisfying of his being, but the stomach of the wrong is lacking. Mark chapter 13 on page 974. Recap last chapter. Yeshua gives the render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give what to Elohim. Chapter 13 on page 974. And as he, Yeshua, set out of the set-apart place, one of his taught ones said to him, Teacher, see what stones and what buildings. And Yeshua answering said to him, Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone shall be left upon another at all which shall not be thrown down. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, opposite of the set-apart place, Kepha, Simon Peter, and Jacob, and John, and Andre, asked him separately, Say to us, when shall these events be? And what shall be the sign when all this is going to be accomplished? And Yeshua began to say to them, Take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am he, and they shall lead many astray. When you hear of fightings and report of fightings, do not be troubled. It has to take place, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and reign against reign, and there shall be earthquakes in various places, and there shall be scarcities of food and disturbances. These are the beginnings of birth pains. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils and to congregations, and you shall be beaten, and you shall be brought before rulers and sovereigns for my name's sake, for a witness to them. And the good news has to be proclaimed first to all the nations. And when they lead you away and deliver you up, do not be worried beforehand what you are to say, but whatever is given you in that hour, speak that, for it is not you who are speaking, but the set-apart Spirit. And brother shall deliver a brother to death, and a child his child, and a father his child. And children shall rise up against their parents, and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated, all because of my name. But he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. Repeat that last verse there, verse 13. And you shall be hated by all because of my name, but he who shall have endured to the end, he shall be saved. Harkens to Revelations 14 to verse 12. Here is the endurance of the set apart ones. Here are those guarding the commands of Elohim and the belief of Yeshua. Just a Mark 13, verse 14. And when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, set up where it should not be, he who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Judah flee to the mountains. Kohomp. And he who is on the housetop, let him not go down into the house, nor come in to take whatever out of his house. And he who is in the field, let him not go back to get his cloak. And woe to those who are pregnant, and to those nursing children in those days. And pray that your flight does not take place in winter. For in those days there shall be distress, such as not had been from the beginning of creation, which Elohim created until this time, nor ever shall be. And if the Master had not shortened those days, no flesh would have been saved. But because of the chosen ones, whom he chose, he shortened the days. And if anyone then says to you, look, here is the Messiah, or look, there, do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets shall rise and show signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. And you, take heed. See, I have forewarned you all of it. But in those days, after the distress, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light, and the stars of the heavens shall fall, and the powers in the earth, powers in the heaven, shall be shaken. Jeremiah 34:4. Isaiah 34:4. And they shall see the Son of Adam coming in the clouds. Daniel 7:13, with much power and esteem. And then he shall send his messengers and assemble his chosen ones from the four winds, from the furthest parts of the earth to the furthest parts of the heaven. Deuteronomy 34 and Ezekiel 2:6. And learn this parable from the fig tree, when its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves. You know that the summer is near. So you also, when you seek these taking place, know that it is near at the door. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away till this takes place. The heaven and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning that day and the hour, no one knows, not even the messengers in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Take heed, watch and pray, for you do not know when the time is. And as a man going abroad, having left his house and given authority to his servants, and to each his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to watch, watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming, in the evening, or at midnight, or at the crowing of the clock, or in the morning of the cock, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he should find you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to you all, watch. The story of the ten maidens with the lamps kind of comes to mind about that. Sorry for the little tangents there. Just kind of got moved. But thank you for indulging me. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.